And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire on the Fontus Aliens Mayhem mode. This is the fourth part and probably the final part of the second stream. We're going to figure out if this is actually the end of the run over this coming couple parts, because we're getting attacked and it's not going well. For the cost of 10 enemy tanks. The enemy has inflicted 1,250 losses on us and 10 walkers. We have 4 decisions awaiting us in round 75. And a whole lot of military motion. The population is at least happy. That's good to know. We have discovered artillery. We need that artillery. Actually, we need the ability to make ammo as well, because otherwise we're about to have a lot of problems.
Roger that.
Give me the big gun. Some bad fires here. Stock auction. I'm not even going to bid on that. We've got other priorities. New commander for the 5th.
Yeah.
You are the new commander for the 5th. Need a road through here. Otherwise, the situation will fall apart. And yeah, we're suffering starvation at this point, so some of the units down here are just they're dead. If we don't get supply through this turn. And that's a problem. That is a serious problem. Okay, so in theory we've got them surrounded. I don't think necessarily our nerve units are necessarily dug in enough, except for maybe these automaton, to bite and hold if the enemy comes hard. And the enemy's showing they've got tanks. They've got lots of tanks. So I'm not sure we got what it's gonna take to stop them. Oh, I don't have the logistics there to deploy. Okay. Farther back up, maybe? Yeah. No. Am I... Oh, I don't have the bullets.
Yes, sir.
We got the logistics, we don't have the bullets. Okay. Deploying some RPGs as sort of emergency sort of stopgap to have something to sort of damage the tanks with. These aren't particularly heavily armored tanks, they're only 50mm, but so the fact that we don't have particularly great AT is not necessarily a concern. Although, we could definitely do with a better AT. They got 81 hard attack versus units attacking them with 72 soft, so... Like, we're not worried about it from a penetration standpoint, we're worried about it from the fact that our units are not very good. Apparently. In comparison to what's attacking. Yeah, and this stuff down here... what I will do is we'll pull back a little bit so that we're hopefully in green supply on the end of the road. If the supply... Basically, if we can hold the road, then they'll get some supply. If we have enough logistics to ship after how bad stuff is. And then construction-wise, at this point, I'm like, I need bullets. So we need to build the ammunition factory. Oh, that's a lot of metal,
Yes,
but it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Yeah, and because of the starvation, we don't have enough personnel. The personnel we rallied and The replacements, we don't have enough. I made it... Well, because if I lose that road, then we're going to have bigger problems, because that's also the only metal supply. And that unit, those units haven't been upgraded. The militia is not stopgap here. Okay, well that's the situation. This has got a really good potential to go really bad, really fast. Overture. We don't have a chance to succeed in the overture. I don't have the ability to bribe them. I'm not going to bother an archaeological effort. Okay.
Roger that.
Okay. That'll help fill the ranks, because we need more soldiers. And yeah, we got the rebellion. At this point, I'm actually not very concerned about the rebellion. The rebellion's not too much of an issue, because they're just using the old rifle militia. I'm much more concerned about the grenadiers here coming in. Yep. Well, we're going to cycle the turn. See if the lines hold. See if the lines hold. The situation doesn't look all roses for the other side. They've got holes in their defenses. It looks like their rear area is being attacked by a different faction. Okay, here comes their attack, and yeah, it's working. Oof. That was our recently deployed AT position, and we got one tank. Oh, and the rebels drive us off the road, cutting off the road again! Yeah, I think what we effectively lost is we lost a bunch of the militia that we sent forward. 2,200 infantry, 100... Well, we killed 100 infantry, killed 10 tanks, so we killed basically 2 sub-units for the cost of 22 sub-units. And we had the road cut again, so we're going to lose more troops to starvation. So again, we can build Oh, no, I can't, because we just took these hexes back as well. Right. Yeah, oh, okay. So these guys just gotta pile in close as they can to the supply line. Yeah, these guys down here are just gonna continue starving. Pull these guys a little bit further back, just to lower the logistical cost of trying to resupply them when the time comes.
Affirmative.
Sir, yes, sir.
Understood. Yes. Affirmative.
Okay. Replacements for units. Again, this is probably mostly replacements for the units that are caught in the pocket. So these are probably mostly people who have starved or are starving. Yeah, this is probably partially this is a side effect of not putting enough political power to or enough bureaucratic power to the Foreign Affairs Council, so I don't have enough cards to do the bribery to get back to some semblance of peace. Yeah, and apparently at this point, I think they've been having a much better time with the bureaucracy. Yeah, the AI here in this game can sometimes be a little bouncing back and forth between being very weak and very strong. These guys are definitely very strong. They got twice the population of us, and they're presumably using it. Let's just say. Because they're farther ahead on us tech. Although they're only they're like one generation ahead of us on tech. They're not that far ahead, but they've also got the industry to use it, and that's kind of what's hammering us. You always usually against the AI in this game, especially in the harder difficulties, start behind, and if you do you play your cards right, you catch up to them. We haven't quite hit the point where we can catch up, and we're getting hammered for it. Hammered for it hard. I suppose if that's just an AT unit, we could probably carry out a decent attack against it. Oh, even that's being predicted to be a failure point. Okay, that's not good. 180 hard, and we're rocking... Yeah, okay, that's possibly what's going on. Our units are just that weak. Yeah, the major improvement over the previous one, but one generation here from the weapons and the armor is doing it. Oh, and they're on RPG, so they're also the next anti-tank weapon up. They got RPG right here, so they're not that far ahead of us, right? They're just a whole rung ahead of us, and that's enough that unit parity is not in our favor. Because you can see the sort of jump here, doubling if not tripling of the strength. That's what they've got on us. And the supply issues are bad, so we're just having units coming in that are starving. Yep. I think we may be boned here. Let's try to get a couple more bazookas deployed. Because I see anti-tanks, and what I've got for anti-tank options is not going to be sufficient to stop them. So got another batch of pants scare there, and another batch of pants scare here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is very much not an efficiency problem. Or what? How to say this? IP. Not having enough IP problem. We got plenty of IP, it's just my stuff isn't efficient enough. So we're tech level behind, and they have twice the population of us, so they can stomach the troop recruiting. And to be fair, the AI always recruits harder than you. Right? The AI doesn't care about its civilian population, so it'll draft itself to literal death. That's what it takes to win the war. So at this point, we got to tar pit them down long enough that we can either do diplomacy or catch up tech-wise. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to successfully tar pit them here, is the problem. Yep, there we go, losing another hex. Losing another hex. Losing another hex, and we're causing no casualties. Although I think it's still a lot of the troops that are getting attacked right now are still the old militia that I ran forward to tar pit, so we'll see. And the old militia is even more out of date at this point. We killed. Okay, so my read of that was not quite right. We killed 50 tanks. We killed 5 subunits. We only lost 16, so that wasn't as bad as I was expecting. Okay, the supplies of these guys are better. We now control the area, so we can put a road connection through the marsh, so the guys down here, if they haven't starved, next turn should get some supplies. Although we still have to control the road with the half-starved troops at this point, which may be difficult in and of itself. Okay. Rifle 3s, mass upgrade, rifle 2s to 3s. This remake queue. I don't even have the resources, even if we had the logistics to deploy it, but we'll do mass upgrade to everything that can reach. We actually managed to deliver everything that could reach. Okay. And I'm out of bullets. Did not realize I was that low. Buy 3 metals available. Okay. We'll buy that 3 metal at absurd prices and turn that into 30 bullets, because that's all we can turn into bullets.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's not good. I should have checked the metal or the ammo state before I did that, although we need to get these units upgraded if we're going to use them, so... Can't. Yeah, overcharge is not going to work. Again, we still don't have any of the bribery cards. We got the money to bribe them, at least. So... Foreign Affairs, call you up.
Sir, yes,
Readies. We shift most of it to Major. Probably the repelling cards that we need.
sir, yes, sir.
Okay, so they all want more opinion with us before they're willing to do that sort of agreement. Yeah, none of them are actually really interested in doing diplomacy. To the degree that they're interested in anything, it's that they're all sort of angry at the same people. Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
Get some more volunteers.
Roger that.
We have men to put in the uniforms. We've got the equipment to make the uniforms out of. And then we gotta roll the turn, see if that is enough. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not enough. Of course, we got these troops coming back. At some point, we lost one of our Galactic Republic tanks, which would be real useful right about now. It may have been to starvation. It may have been to you and assholes to try to break back out. Yeah, we got the rebels here, and we got these guys here, and we'll see if we can even hold. Okay, we were spared, it looks like, any attacks. Although all that can mean is they're just reorganizing in preparation for a bigger attack. And they are at war with multiple people, so... Round 78, we have five decisions. Waste disposal being one of them, which is not a good decision. Okay, we got weapons upgrade. We're going to hold off on the infantry weapons upgrade until we at least get the armor upgrade. So we can do both at the same time. Secret Service is tempting, but I don't have the bureaucracy to spread out amongst it all. No targets, so you focus more on research or discovery. RPG infantry army, so we can distribute the RPGs across units. I don't need the money, so no. Okay, the rebels have been dealt with. So they've got a pretty cohesive front lines. Yeah, their flanks are maybe a little exposed, but that's about the worst that I can say about their front lines. Okay, and we need bullets. We need bullets to distribute. So I'm just gonna make all those into bullets.
Yes, sir.
Any luck with the cards? I think the answer was no. Oh, actually a little bit of luck with the cards. We have enough oratory skill that we can force them to take our gift. Bust them from 2 to 4. To get a... Oh, I don't even have the card for peace. It's gonna make that a little difficult. To get peace with them, I need 25. So, a lot more than that. Okay, so these guys are going to recover. That's probably still enough to attack what's left. I think they still have just the 2 units left. Get the slavering situation to end. have a suspicion that whale actually can't come on land, but don't want to find out that I'm wrong. Okay, mobilizing the third. So we got the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth all mobilizing to deal with this, with the exception of one member of the first down here and one member of the second, which is going to go into the militia to try to deal with what's left of the slavers. Okay. Situation is stabilizing, still very precarious. Technology is still sufficiently backwards. Ah! The ammo factory is done. It's building an ammo factory in the background, yes. For good reason, because then that turns 50 metal energy, which we got excessive of, into, like, 50% of the ammo we just made. So going forward, I shouldn't have to worry about ammo. Okay. And we can raise another brigade. We'll do like an infantry machine gun brigade, and then hopefully that'll be enough entrenchment on this front line that it at least becomes static, so I can not be paranoid as we bring the stream to an end at this rate. Yeah. What's the current state of our models? How many... So the infantry ones are all gone. That makes sense, because we did deal with them. We're actually only down to 600 of the rifle 2s. The rifle 2s are almost gone as well. And we got rifle 3s. So we'll soon have everything upgraded to rifle 2s. And then that will be... Or rifle 3s, and that'll be good. Almost the same state with the whirlwinds, which are the machine guns. The RPGs. The original RPG battalion, it still has the original RPGs. Everything else is up to the second one. Which makes sense, because everything else was built the second one. Okay. Okay, this is their turn. This is when we're going to get slapped if they're going to come in at us. Okay, they didn't attack us. Now, that may be due to the fact that we're entrenched, so it's the sort of situation of, yeah, we're good to defend, but I wouldn't trust our odds attacking yet. Although, if we're good to defend, we're in a situation where we may be able to salvage the situation. Round 79, we got 5 decisions. Marauders. Waste is a little accident, okay. We're now in a crisis of violence again. Making all the danger tests harder. And presumably more frequent.
Understood.
You want us to take 115-11, which is that. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to take that too. It's not happening, but 88. So you're going to be 9 rounds to do something that's going to take like 20. We're going to refuse. I'm just going to accept that it's going down. Yeah, we're still focused on discovery here because we're still looking for sealed roads.
Yes.
Zone decision, you have full support. Success is better than a failure.
Yes,
Full
sir.
support.
Roger
Critical
that,
success.
sir.
That's even better than a success. Honestly, some of these militia might actually be worth shipping the other direction, just in case we need more forces down here to finish off the slavers. Okay, so that's the armored car. So we'll bring all four of them, get the armored car first, and then we'll deal with you second. When it comes to non-aligned or territories like this, the slavers usually have factions like the slavers usually have one hex perk that is the center of the zone. Let's say is their city equivalent. And that's what this is here. So that one's actually probably not going to come off that perk to fight us. So we can go fight the other one, deal with it, and then attack the one that actually is sort of the home guard to finish them off. Just making proper Galactic Republic units out of the Galactic Republic units at this point. To be fair, I could mix and match them, so I could probably push the... In fact, actually, that's what I will do. I'll push the infantry and the machine guns together into one Galactic Republic infantry machine gun unit. There we go, so it's a mix of infantry and machine guns. And that's actually a pretty, frankly, scary unit. 148, 363, using energy weapons, so pretty low supply cost. Are you using energy weapons? Yeah, laser rifle. And that's actually comparable to what they've got, which is maybe not a shining endorsement of Galactic Republic infantry in the late game. Is what they've got is like mid-game weapons. But for this state of the game, that is a formidable weapon. Yeah, so it looks a little bit like their flanks are open, but they've got a cohesive front line, and I don't think we're in a position to attack. Although maybe... I don't know if that's it's saying that my recon's absolutely shit, or if the recon is terrible and they have a lot there. It's a little disconcerting when you got them outnumbered. So our recon's saying they got about 200 there. Although we don't have full unit info, so they presumably have more there. So yeah, coming at them that outnumbered, you'd think we'd have a little bit better odds. Just a little bit. Yeah, I don't think another brigade's gonna help. We might be at the position where I'd be benefiting from more anti-tank support. Well, that's something we should do. Panzerscare, you should get upgraded. Mass upgrade. SHQ to the Panzerscare 2.
Yes, sir.
I have no clue where the remaining rifles are. Presumably, well, it wouldn't be surprising they're down here. Mass upgrade. Rifle 3, SHQ. What's left
Yes,
of
sir.
them? Okay. And then you're upgraded already to the Whirlwind 2s. I've got some Whirlwind 2s somewhere, I think, that aren't upgraded. Is what we were seeing in the models. So yeah, they're gone. So all your upgraded, so that's an obsolete model. Don't contemplate building those anymore. Machine guns. We have in the 1st MG Brigade. 1st Infantry MG Brigade. Wherever the 1st Brigade is. Wherever the first is, yes. Okay, so that's the battalion. We need to find the one that is not upgraded. So it's not those two. Not that one. That one. Actually, to be fair, you're the only one, so we're just upgrading you.
Yes, sir.
And you're upgraded. Okay. So all the obsolete units are gone. Everyone has the newfangled tech. Yeah, you're gone. RPGs. All gone. You know, I've got 5 AT positions. At this point, I'm probably contemplating just putting one like everywhere, just because I'm that worried about the enemy armor. Yeah, because most of the enemy's attacking power is tied up in that armor. It's mostly armor. Now, ideally, this would be dispersed amongst our brigades and not independent penny packets of RPG units. But I don't yet have that. Oh, that oob. Oob is not yet in our repertoire. Okay, so that should be enough AT that I can go ahead and cover the entire front. Or enough bazooka AT to cover the entire front line. It's going to take a little while for them to get dispersed into their combat positions, but assuming that is that should tie them down. Okay. And then, yeah, I think we're at government admin expansion, because I need to tech fast. Oh, and I probably need... Looks like we might need more farms. Although we don't need... At that rate, we don't need farms particularly fast, so I think we'll be fine there. High Command Office.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Okay. That, we're going to cycle the turn. We're going to see if we are spared from getting attacked another turn. If we are, we have some time to maybe reorganize the defenses. And get those RPGs distributed. Again, they're being attacked in effectively their rear. Right, their supply is coming out of the port here. So if they're too focused on me, these guys will just roll up and take their supply hub, and the whole defense will collapse. What was happening to me will happen to them, and then I'm fully on board for fair turnaround of the AI. So it's their turn. Are they going to attack, or are they going to be busy elsewhere? Okay, so they shored up their open flanks. Otherwise, no attacks. We start from the losses, nor made kills. We got 4 decisions in round 80. Roaming Thieves. Okay, we can deal with that. That's not too bad. Okay, the Crisis of Violence will end next turn. Rocketry has been discovered. Militia Project, that's good. So, militancy is staying fine there. No militancy there. No militancy there. No militancy there. I suppose I might as well drop in the capital with the militia project if we've got the political power for it. Okay, so I want to boost the foreign affairs, so we can try to get out of this war before it becomes a forever war. Yeah, that's basically coming at the advancement of our economy, which is a shame, but it is what it is. You want us to hit a I want that. I don't think that's doable. Again, you're not giving me enough turns, game. 10 turns is not enough for that. We're gonna say no. Roaming Thieves. Do what you can to mitigate it. Success. Okay. They're blackmailing us. Got the money to pay the blackmail. How badly do I want the fist? I can probably take the fist. Yeah, we'll take the double fist. So we'll pay double.
Sir, yes, sir.
Make them a little embarrassed. Okay, we need to distribute the AT. Okay, so we're gonna have AT for everywhere except for here, but if they want to go way out around the bottom of the lines, like, they can do that. Oh, actually, I have one for down there. I just gotta get these guys down there. It's gonna take a little bit of time. Okay. Yeah, they got a full cohesive front line at this point. Oh, maybe to be fair, that isn't necessarily too much because arguably we have a full cohesive front line. If we were to pile everything in, what's the horrible odds? Honestly, I was expecting worse. We're not taking that fight. I just wanted to see what the odds were, and the answer is not as bad as I thought, but not great. Yeah, we haven't taken any combat losses, so things have definitely stabilized. Victory overview. We're now in second. Okay. Although, presumably barely in second, because we're basically tied for second. We're facing the score leader, so other than the fact that I think, like, I'd be surprised like everyone's at war with them. Is there a way I can check? Who they have peace with? Regimes. Unknown. We don't have that information. Okay. We know they're at war with someone. Okay, so we can work out that you are at war with them. You're also at war with Nebelsneck. Wormstone. You're at war with them. So we know the score leader is at war with, like, probably everyone they touch. These guys are, from a diplomatic standpoint, like, radioactive. Which is probably why we're not dead. Let's be fair. I feel that these guys are actually powerful enough that if they were to pile up with their skill, with their technology, and their population, they'd probably be rolling us. They're not doing that, I think, because they're at war with everyone else. Okay, so the bulge that was down here got collapsed, which is maybe not good for us. That's probably where the spare forces are coming from. It's coming from our flank to do that. Which means once they're done with that, they'll turn around. Yeah, construction-wise, we're going to try to build up our bureaucracy so we can get advancing quicker. Tech-wise, if we get combat armor, we can upgrade the infantry. If we basically want combat armor and RPGs. Right? If we get combat armor RPGs, we can match them unit per unit. We'll be outgunned by a lot still, because they definitely have the industry to throw tanks around, which we don't. But really, we're just trying to buy enough time to get them back to peace. Get them back to peace, then we can properly deal with problems. So yeah, I got enough industry. We'll start the government admin going up. Oh, the government admin is already going up. And we actually got spare metal. Not much spare metal, so I could probably put another construction project going. What else would we be building? We can't afford the industry yet. I could put more scavenging if we needed more metal. That's probably what I do need to do. Oh, actually, probably want to do more scavenging, not for more metal, but for more petrol. Probably want more agriculture. Although, we only need one level in agriculture, I think. Okay, so let's expand our farm.
Yes, sir. Roger.
We've got the
that,
metal for
sir.
that. Or get the metal income for that, so we're not going to worry about our metal going down between that and the admin palace. Yeah, I could do both of those at the same time. And then it's more scavenging. In fact, I probably have enough metal. This would make it tight, but I probably have enough metal I can get the scavenging going too. So let's get the scavenging going at the same time.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
This is sort of digging into the stockpiles, but that'll probably be fine. These
Yes,
two
sir.
together
Roger that,
may
sir.
give us just enough oil production that we're oil positive, or at least closer to oil neutral. At that point, then I can probably dig into the biofuel refinery if we really need more petrol. Okay, looking at the time, I think this is probably where I should put the part break in. I could technically cycle the turn, and we can see what's going to happen combat-wise. Although the hope would be that nothing happens combat-wise, so it should hopefully be a boring end turn. In 2 turns, these 3 things will be done, so we should be food positive, closer to oil neutral, closer to the more bureaucracy that we need to solve our bureaucratic problems. We're getting close to where you can put down the colony, say down here somewhere. maybe there. And if we do that, then we've got... Oh, actually here-ish, so we can do the metal. The metal, the oil... Yeah. Yeah. That'll give us another source of metal early on in the colony, a little more scrap, plenty more fuel, because that would be the point of going down there, is the artifacts and the fuel. And then we gotta stall until we can catch up on tech. These tanks aren't really getting any stronger, let's be fair. And to be fair, one thing we can do is we stall until we get our own tanks, right? These are anti-infantry tanks. Howitzers... Oh no, that's a mix of anti-infantry and tanks. But we could stall until we get, like, medium tanks. And if our goal is just to have a battering ram to break tanks with, medium tanks with the high velocity, 105 high velocity guns, and the 200mm armor will outcompete these light tanks. IP to IP. So there's definitely ways that we can do something to this that's slow and grinding if we can stall long enough. But yeah, this is where we're going to put the part break in. A little bit of a short part here, but I think the situation is stable enough that we will definitely not lose with the next part or two, so we've got another stream ahead of us. We're in second. We're in pretty good standing to hold second, although and this is kind of the problem, and this was a foreseeable problem with our landing spot here, is that's our capital, that's where all our important industry is. If this defensive position falls apart, either we're losing logistic lines off to places we want to colonize, or we literally lose the capital. That's the sort of situation where this would fall apart. So it's on a knife edge. We could lose. But I think we have a possibility here to claw it back into a safer zone. To be fair, we're mostly dug in here. We're dug in here. We got AT everywhere just because that's how paranoid we are about the tanks. Infantry is better at defending than attacking. And when you account for the fact that we've got... Yeah, so from a defending to attacking standpoint, our units are as good defending as their units are to attacking. So they're going to have a situation where they have to do multiple units attacking the same location, and we're multi-stacking in some places just to compensate for that. So the hope would be that we can just tar pit, inflict enough attrition on them. I think we're at the point where we can do that. I don't think we're going to lose, but we got a ways before we can get to a winning state. And that is, we need to get the bureaucracy up so we can get the research going. Yeah, I think we've reached a stable spot. So I hope you've been enjoying the run as of now. We got positive revenue, so we're not concerned about revenue. Word score is apparently doing better. We're up to 75. In fact, I was expecting to click here on the word score and be like at 50. So the word score is doing better than I was expecting. It might be that I'm being presented with more demands that I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that, and shooing those away, which is pissing off the factions. But I can probably live with pissed off factions better than I can with terrible word score. Right? If I'm telling them no because I can't do things, that's probably the thing to tell them no to. And yeah, think we're in the position where we can come back from it. Back from the brink here. Although there is quite a bit of work ahead of us. Mostly in tech. We need to catch up on tech. We're about one tier behind, and we're about we're about 33% of the way to catching up on that tier. So if they don't overtake us, I can probably, once we get to that tier, contemplate some offensive actions. Plus, we've got artillery in the works. We've seen no hide or hear of their artillery. And if we can catch up in tech and deploy artillery, they will have a bad day. Artillery using combined arms operations is very dangerous. It's ammo hogging. But if they're not in a position to punish us when we have to take rests to get the ammo back, we're going to start causing damage. It's going to be slow and grinding. It's going to be World War I. But we can maybe fight World War I. We've got the manpower because we can call up volunteers. to fight a World War I style conflict. And they're fighting the world. I don't think they can. So yeah, that's the state of the run. If you're watching on YouTube, there probably will be another part up tomorrow. We'll probably gotten around to recording it by then. If you're watching on Twitch, let me go over the channel schedule for the next couple days. So tomorrow is going to be Terra Invicta. Tomorrow is also Terra Invicta's 1.0 release day. So we will be on some version of 1.0 instead of release candidate tomorrow. I suspect either the release candidate will be 1.0.25, or there will be a beta for 1.0.25 come tomorrow. And that will be probably the version we're playing on. So whether it is the actual release version or the beta for the unstable patches, that will be what comes out on the 5th. That will be what we're playing on. We'll be continuing our existing save, which should load into that with no problem. And then that's the plan for Monday. Tuesday is going to be Moscow in Panzer Corps 2. Moscow is probably at least going to be a 2-parter, if not a 3-parter. Moscow might even be a 4-parter. We got to run the whole mission out, so it is not a short mission, and it is after we succeed on the offensive component of the mission, it becomes a defensive mission, much like we are here in Shadow Empire. Panzer Corps 2 will be a defensive mission come Tuesday. Wednesday, I don't actually know what my plan is going to be for Wednesday, so I may have family arriving late Wednesday. Right now we're recorded 2 parts ahead for Victoria 3. So if I needed to take Wednesday off and skip recording on Wednesday, that wouldn't be a problem. That would leave me no spare surplus for recordings, but that wouldn't be a problem. I can work that out. Also, spoilers, if you did not watch Victoria 3 last night, we finished that run of Victoria 3. So if I'm either going to decide to play a new game on Wednesday, whether that's a new game of Victoria 3, a new game entirely, and if we play a game that is, well, if we play a new game of Victoria 3, it'll be like a 2-parter. So it'll be another short one. Or if I do a new game entirely, we'll probably overlap it with Victoria 3. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're wondering why there are 5 games up a day, that's why. That's the plan for Wednesday. The crude plan for Wednesday. Thursday will be when we continue Shadow Empire, and continue this situation. I think this situation is, again, as a state I think we can win from, although we got a lot of work ahead of us. Being at war with the most powerful of the enemies, and only at war with the most powerful of the enemies, is something I can work with. And yeah, the thing here I think that's going to potentially save us is that they're at war with everyone. The AI has made an enemy of the world, and that is what we can play with. So if you've got any comments you want to leave, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, feel free to leave them. I will have a very convenient... Well, actually, to be fair, for Shadow Empire, I keep all the autosaves. So I'll have a very convenient save here, because I'll have it labeled here as the end of the stream. As soon as we end the stream here. But if you're watching on YouTube and you want to see stats from any turn of the game, feel free to let me know. I can always go ahead and pull them up. But yeah, if you got a comment you want responded to, now's a good time to leave them. And if you're watching on Twitch, obviously I'll do a quick refresh of the Twitch chats to make sure I'm not missing any as soon as I bring the stream, or as soon as I bring the recording to an end. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.